We're still trying to guess the most popular British traditions. OK, Sean's team, what do you think is the nation's favourite tradition?
Oh, I think April Fool's Day. I don't know if they do it elsewhere in the world. Probably banned it in Denmark.
I'll tell you where else they do it. They do it in Spain. Yeah. And if you fool someone, you say, "You innocent little dove, that you let yourself be fooled."
In English?
It just feels nicely poetic, "You innocent little dove that let yourself be fooled." Again, in Britain, when you fool someone, if you play a practical joke at the end, you just go, "Ah, wanker."
Do doves get fooled a lot? Go around fooling a dove every now and again? Introduce it to a pigeon you painted white?
Have you ever played any pranks? Have you done any on the One Show? It feels like the One Show is kind of the environment where you could do...
we pretended we were talking from a box.
Did you?
Matt and I got into a box and we spoke to people. I mean, it wasn't original. It didn't work, to be fair.
James has a question.
I'm unsure as to what the prank was. You were in a box, you spoke to people.
And people would pass and we'd be like, "Oh, yeah, how are you?" Because we had a camera inside and they'd be, like, looking around.
So you were out in the street?
We were on the street.
Oh, I thought you meant, like, guests came onto the One Show. And you're both in a box.
No.
And you're going, "Hello! Hello, Whitney! Hello, Charles Brandes. Did you have a good time at the Pencil Museum?"
No, I don't like April Fools because an ex-boyfriend said he was gay.
On...
April Fools. But he didn't realise it was April the 1st. It was an actual fact.
I don't know where to begin,
It was very short term. I think he thought, I can't, I'll tell her on April the 1st. I thought he was joking. It was a mess.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's happily married to Richard. That's all we need to know.
So, in a way, he was pretending to be in a box as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Had you got him with an April Fool before he told you that? That would have been all... If you had done the old cling film on the toilet and he was covered himself in piss and gone, "Right, something I've got to tell you anyway, gay."
You know the cling film? That only really works for fellas. Because if a lady sits on it, it just feels lovely.
Just had 4 litres of Fanta. It's a day for wankers, really, isn't it?
What?
Well, it's very British to be able to say, "Oh, if you want to play a hilarious joke, then you must wait until the one day of the year." I mean, guy like me...
because you're so full of joy and fun the whole time.
I'm pranking 24/7, 365, Jimmy. I don't...
So what pranks have you played?
I love a hide.
So where do you hide?
Wherever there's a gap, mate.
I once hid down the side of the bed, and my fella came in the room and spotted me straight away because my arse was higher than the bed.
My favourite pranks, you know the ones where you can tell someone's thought of it and they literally haven't had a single person to check with. So they've done, like, a bomb scare or something, and then you see it in the paper and you think, if you just had one person around, even if you just had a cat to just look at you and go like that, you could have thought, hang on, but nobody asked and you've done it, and then you thought, oh...
I agree with you. Pranksters, if you've got a prankster in your group, he's normally the prick of the group, isn't he?
You got to there before he got to prick. Sean, do you ever play any pranks?
Sometimes what I do is I replace all the light bulbs in the house with ones of a slightly lower wattage.
Stop it.
You can see people on the dimmer switches going, "No." I'm sitting there chuckling away going, "Never got a clue." Sometimes I go up in the loft, just move everything around. You know, nobody knows, do they? So basically I do stuff, there's no victim.
Turn the doormat round?
Yeah, I love doing that, yeah. You're a bit of a prankster, are you?
Don't get me started. Don't get me started, Sean. Sometimes I change ties halfway through the evening. I'm staying in on my own, but it's funny.
Just remembered another one I like to do.
Go on.
It's if we're having a drink, whatever, and they go to the toilet, I put my cock in their pint. That's not as subtle, and there is a victim. Usually me.
That's why I switched to hot toddies. Too many times.
And you do have to take it out again before they come back. Very important.
Yeah. Speaking of brilliant pranks, earlier this year, a Polish man dressed up his dog in a spider costume to terrify passers-by. Let's treat ourselves. Just so you can see it, here's the dog. Here he is in his costume.
Aww.
I mean, if you see it in daylight, it's not that scary, but...
I think I'd shit myself during the day if I saw that.
My mum always used to get us, every year she used to get us when we were kids, and it was always a mouse. She'd just say, oh, I saw a mouse, and we'd be like, oh, no, it's a mouse, and she'd go, "Mah," like that, because that's how it works. But then there was one time she sort of roped me in on it, and she said, shout downstairs and tell your dad and sister that I can't feel my legs. And this is a woman... This is,
I can't feel my legs!
Yeah, and this is a woman with polio, just so you know. She's got a really dark sense of humour, my mum. She's awesome. So I shouted downstairs, oh, I can't feel legs. And they ran upstairs, of course they did, and she went, ta-da, out of the bed like that, because she's twisted. But then I decided to get her back the next day. Oh, no, why am I saying this on the telly? Put some old knickers and a very red lipstick and pretended I'd started my period.
Let's see if April Fool's is up there. Yes, April Fool's. My girlfriend did a brilliant April Fool's prank on me last year. She got my best friend to come round, take all his clothes off and hide in the wardrobe, and then she jumped in the shower and pretended she didn't know he was there.